Daylight, my MVVs, welcome. Report reaching us is that there's been serious buzz, anger, jealousy in the palace of the Ooni of Ife, as two royal mansion cooks who used to cook for Queen Naomi in the royal mansion have been transferred to the palace of the Ooni of Ife to go through the ritual to enable them qualify to cook for the Ooni of Ife. And they said this is not going well with the Oloris, who are wondering what Queen Naomi is using, to manipulate the Ooni of Ife's feelings like this, because it's beginning to look as though anything that comes from Queen Naomi is solid. Anything that comes from Queen Naomi is great. Anything that comes from Queen Naomi is acceptable for the Ooni of Ife. It does seem as if there is no woman that Ooni of Ife would trust like Queen Naomi, because come to think of it, what is this? That he is accepting cooks that have been cooking for Queen Naomi to come and, be trained and go through the, traditional ritual process to qualify them to cook for him, now that these cooks have, exhibited what they want. Okay, so right now we had a report that the reason why the former cooks left was because of something that has got to do with some traditional word that is being used to cook for the Ooni of Ife. We also heard that, Ooni is taking action towards what is to be done to the Oloris who have been called out responsible for this behavior. And some of these cooks who left, one has been called back, but the others were asked to go because when they invited them to come back and spell out the reason why they left without the consent of the monarch or the admin officer in the palace or the people, Oni's sister who brought them in, they didn't come, and they waited and came after 3 days. And so when they came after everything, they were asked to go and not asked to stay back. So right now we had another report too that Olori Toby had, recruited cooks and were sent to the palace, and they went straight to the quarters of the cook. And when Oni came, Oni threw them out and asked them to leave, and leave almost immediately. And so what we are hearing right now, as it is rumored that those cooks that are cooking for Queen Naomi are the ones who will be cooking for the Ooni of Ife in the interim. That Queen Naomi has sent them to leave the royal palace to go through the traditional rites that will qualify them to cook for the Ooni of Ife. And for these people, it is promotion for them. When Queen Naomi was in the palace, we heard that she was taking out time to monitor the cooking of the Ooni of Ife, that most times Oni will make demand of her pepper soup, that there is a particular pepper soup that she prepares for the Ooni of Ife, that Oni said he has never enjoyed that pepper soup the way Queen Naomi prepares it. And so most times when we hear that excuse me, please. So most times when we hear that, he went to Akure and, asked for food, or he asked Queen Naomi to prepare his favorite, they say it's usually that pepper soup. So Queen Naomi knows what he likes and how his food should be prepared and all of that. And this cook, of course, they were cooking for Queen Naomi. They said Queen Naomi knows how to get her own cooks, so she's going to employ new cooks for the royal mansion. But for now, this seemed to be an emergency situation. She decided that the cook only need them most, so they are going back to the palace. And they said this is not going well with the Oloris. They said that the wives are not supposed to employ cooks for the Ooni of Ife. How come Ooni of Ife is allowing Queen Naomi's cook to come down to Ile-Ife to be cooking for him? How come everything that Queen Naomi does is okay? How come he never gets to question Queen Naomi the way he does question them? How come he loves everything that has to do with Queen Naomi? How come, he does not feel bad about anything that has to do with Queen Naomi. They said this is the question that these women are asking in the palace of the Ooni of Ife. As in, this is the question that they are asking. They are very, very upset that Queen Naomi has no right to send cooks to Ooni of Ife, and Ooni of Ife has no right to allow it. But the thing is that these women have forgotten that Ooni of Ife and Queen Naomi, they had a life, they were loving each other, everything was going on well. Like, their love for Queen Naomi, or the love that Ooni of Ife and Queen Naomi shared, happens to be something that they may never ever be able to understand. And that is why it's been rather very difficult for them, for them to go their separate ways. They trust each other, especially Ooni of Ife. Ooni of Ife trusts Queen Naomi so much because he's quite aware that Queen Naomi will never hurt him. Queen Naomi will never ever do him anything wrong. Queen Naomi will always protect him. And that is the one thing I think he really trusts about Queen Naomi. And this is something that these women may never ever be able to understand. Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, De La Ram. I bring you fresh and spicy gist from the source. Is still on the Royals. How are you guys doing? I appreciate you. I love you. Thank you so much for being here. And thank you for always being a part of this channel. It's not a small thing, though. There is this buzzbuzz that is going on that has to do with, replacing Oni cook with Queen Naomi's cook. The people who have been taking care of the mansion cooking for Oleri Naomi, they said they are the same people that Ooni of Ife, Queen Naomi brought to come and be cooking for the Ooni of Ife after the drama that unfolded with the cooks. And they say the wives are very, very unhappy. When Toby had her twins, Toby was thinking that would be the end of Queen Naomi. From what we are hearing, I do not live with them. And they felt like, okay, at the end of the day, there is a reason why Queen Naomi, Ooni of Ife will free Queen Naomi and allow Queen Naomi go. But with the way we are seeing things now, it's looking like it's not going to be as easy as that. It looks as though Queen Naomi still holds her place in the life of Ooni of Ife, and they are still loving each other, and he trusts Queen Naomi more than anything in the world. And this is one thing that is really peppering others. I wanted to bring you this update. I'm going to bring you more. I appreciate you so much. Thank you.